Hi and welcome to this lesson where we're going to focus on the safety settings of the drone. We're not going to go into too much detail about the other aspects of the app. We'll do that in another lesson. So safety is absolutely important when flying a drone. The Mini 3 is excellent. It has lots of safety features that really do make it beginner friendly. So as you can see, my drone is turned on. We're inside the DJI Fly app. And you can see I've got takeoff permitted. If I just start with by going to 3 dots in the top right hand corner, it brings up the menu, subdivided into sub-menus, the first one being safety. Really important that we go through this page, making sure that all of the key safety settings are set correctly so that you understand what the drone is going to do in the event of a problem, and also some of the options that you can select or deselect depending on what you're doing with the drone. So the DJI Mini 3 has obstacle avoidance sensors. It has them on the front and it also has them on the back, which means it can see or hopefully sense obstructions in the front or behind it. This part of the menu allows you to choose what you would like it to do when you're controlling it with the sticks if it encounters an obstruction, such as a wall in front of you or a tree. By default, it selects brake, which means it will just come to a stop in front of that obstruction. If you select bypass, you can see that when it's enabled and you're controlling the aircraft with the sticks, it will automatically bypass that detected obstacle, or it will come to the hover. Also, you can turn it off. You might want to do that if you're flying in quite a congested area, perhaps in your garden, where if you had it selected, you just wouldn't be able to move the drone because it would constantly be detecting obstructions and braking. So you might want to turn it off, but just be warned. Turn it off, there is no obstacle avoidance. So I'm going to select it back to brake again. You can also display the radar map. So it will show you what it's detecting in front, behind and below it, which can be quite useful. As we scroll further down into this menu, now this is where the real bits come into play. Flight protection. So the maximum altitude here is currently set to 120 meters. Now that is the legal height I can fly this drone within the UK. That is 400 feet for those that work in feet. You can select that though to lower if you wish, or higher, but do make sure you have permission if you're going to do that. To start with, you might be quite nervous, so you can bring down that height down to 60 meters perhaps, which just means that if it reaches that altitude, it will stop and not climb any further. So you can geofence your drone. Max distance below that, I've got it set to 450 meters at the moment because with my eyesight, which is actually very good, I can see that drone out to about 450 meters. That's a visual line of sight. Some people will be able to see that maybe a little bit further. Others with poor eyesight are likely to have that much less. You can also select, by dragging the little dial here, it to be much lower. So perhaps you want to make sure that you don't go too far on your first flight, so therefore you could perhaps select 60 meters away from you. So when it reaches that point, it won't go any further, no matter how hard you try. But for now, I'm just going to set that back up again to about 500 meters, because that is about as far as I can see the drone. The next important thing is return to home altitude. Now this is the height that the drone will return to home at should you press the return to home button, it reach a critical battery level, or if your signal from your controller is lost. Now the key thing here is that you want to select an altitude that is higher than any obstructions, because if you set it lower, it could fly into those obstructions clearly. So most trees that you see out and about are probably about 30 meters high. So I generally set mine to about 35 meters, and it works in most situations. However, you need to have a good look around and have a look at what is the highest obstruction and make sure that you set your return to home altitude higher than that obstruction. Now you don't want to go silly, you don't want to set this up at 120 meters because it will need to climb up to that height, fly along at that height and then descend. Now if you remember from our weather lessons, the wind speed increases with height. So if the wind speed increases with height, there is a chance that you're going to lose your drone if the wind's too strong up there, or equally it's going to use more battery. So the lower you can set the return to home height is better. but making sure that it's high enough that it can fly over any obstructions that it might encounter. So scrolling down, update home point. Now if I click that, you can see it says use when the aircraft is in flight, and that is just resetting what the home point is. So at the moment my drone, its home point, has been found to be on the table in my garden. But imagine now I'm walking down the beach and perhaps I don't want that drone now to go back to the point that I took it off from. Well, I can come in this menu, press that button, and it will reset the home point to where you are now. It can be really useful if you're not at the same place that you took off the drone from, for example. Calibrating the sensors. It will tell you if it needs to calibrate its sensors, and if you need to do that, you can go into this menu and you can press the buttons. I will do a separate video on how to calibrate the sensors. Battery info, if I click that, really useful, tells me how my batteries are doing. Currently 8 volts, 39.2 is the battery temperature. It also tells me how many cycles that battery has done, so how many times it's been charged, which can be quite useful. Back out, I can unlock a geozone. So at the moment, it doesn't have anything, I've got no licenses, but if I wanted to fly within a flight restriction zone, there are ways that I can unlock this drone to be able to fly within those. And you can go through a process, which if you look on the website there, it will explain to you and how to submit an unlocking flight request. When you've done that, the request will come up in this area, the menu here. You can press it and your drone will then be unlocked to fly within those areas. So back into that menu system again. Find my drone, a little bit like Find my iPhone. Really good. If I press that button now, Find my drone, it'll bring up a little map as to where we are. There's me, that's where I live, and I can zoom out and see exactly where my drone is. I could press the start flashing and beeping and it will start flashing and beeping my drone. As long as it's got battery attached, you can easily find your drone. The final one, advanced safety settings. So if I click that one, really important. What do you want your drone to do if the signal is lost from your controller? Well, most of the time you're probably just going to want it to return to home. However, if you were perhaps over an area where you didn't want it to land, you might just want it to send. Equally, you might just want it to hover. However, most of the time, if the signal's lost from your controller, I suspect that you're going to want it to come back to where you are. You can emergency stop the propellers. This is the same way you start the drone in the first instance, by putting them down to the 5 and the 7 o'clock position. And equally, you can do it from the 7 o'clock and the 5 o'clock position as well. Clearly, if you do this when the aircraft is in the air, the drone will fall and you will destroy your drone. However, it is good to know that you can do that if required. Come back out the menu. So they're the key safety settings that you need to make sure that you've set up before you fly your drone. Now, most of them, once you've set them up, actually you probably won't need to change them very often. So if I now come back out of my menu and then I look at the top left again where it says takeoff permitted, if I click that, it gives me that shortcut menu which allows you to quickly adjust things like the return to home altitude, the max altitude and the max distance. Those are probably the things that you're probably going to want to change on your day-to-day operating of a drone. The other settings you're unlikely to want to change too much, which is why they've given you this quick shortcut menu. Coming back out again, before I take off, the other things that I need to check are the battery level. It's currently at 79%. Won't display to me at the moment how long I've got. That is simply because the drone's not flying at the moment. I want to go across again and have a look at my signal from my remote controller. It's currently full signal, which is excellent. I can look across again and I can see I've got 20 satellites. Little red thing next to it, that is your obstacle avoidance. It's red at the moment and that's because I'm not flying. But as soon as I get airborne, it will go green and it will tell you that your obstacle avoidance is now activated. And finally, before I take off, I always make sure that I'm in M mode. That's top left there. You can, by all means, take off in sport mode or cine mode, but both of those are either quite slow or quite fast if you're in sport mode, and can take you by surprise if you're not familiar with it. So I always recommend that you make sure the setting is in neutral before you take off. So that is it. That's a quick run through of the safety settings of the drone itself. We will talk a little bit more about some of the other features of the drone, but for now, let's move on to the next lesson.